And we are live. Oh my goodness. We're just a little tiny bit late, a couple minutes, and we're waiting for Janine, but we want to say hello to everybody. And Andy's here, and our special guest tonight is Mari. And okay, now I got to remember how to say your name. I'm going to let you say it.
Cartagenova.
Yes, Cartagenova.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
I did it right the first time I ever said it. I think it's a beautiful, dreamy, romantic name. I really do, because I swear it's been on the Hallmark show. Like they were from a country.
Thank
you. Really pretty. Mari, we're so happy to have you here. And you're known as a medium and also an animal communicator. And so we're just so excited to have you again on our show. Such a blessing. And you actually have some pictures later that we'll be looking at. And you're going to do little mini readings for people that sent them in. And we thank you for that. Anything else that you want to add to, like, your little bio that we're asking? You know, you're a medium and you do the animal communication. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I mean, I also do lost and missing pets, and I do sometimes work on missing person cases as well. So, so I do sort of those four main things. And of course, I'm mom. I always say mom first, medium second. Shout out to the kids. So, but yeah, I love, connecting with spirit, connecting with animals, whether they're here or crossed over. And of course, finding missing persons or missing fur babies is always, such a blessing and so awesome, because it, makes so many people happy. And
yeah, isn't it? It's just so awesome. I've only done one case, I think, for a dog, and they found her and they sent me a picture, and it just made me so joyful. It was just so an amazing experience, and to see the picture was so cool.
I know, it's so sweet. And it's like, you just, like, at least for me, I mean, certainly missing people is important as well, but there's something about the fur babies that just gets you by the heartstrings. And if you're able to reconnect them, there's so much joy and love, and it's really amazing. So it's a privilege to be able to do that kind of work.
Well, and then to give that a message, a comforting message to the parents of the fur babies is really neat, and probably can help in a lot of ways. If like if there was a dog that was having a lot of anxiety, do you catch that and tell them so they can help him?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when I first connect with animals, as I think with people as well, I really get into sort of their emotional state and, like, what type of person, and I'm including the animals because to me they're like little furry people. What type of emotional state they're in. Are they worried? Are they concerned? Is something bothering them? I can pick up physical complaints. So yeah, absolutely. And so I'll say, oh, your dog's, like just did this horse. I'm like, your horse is really, like, lonely, because the horse was away from the owner. And I was saying, he's really lonely and he's really missing you, and went into all these reasons. And it brings a lot of comfort, because then the owner's like, oh, I didn't realize it. Or, some cases they do, in some cases they really don't. And then that way they can take steps to remedy that. So.
I want to take this minute just as I see that Sabine, Lonnie is on, and Sabine, I know that you lost Jade a few days ago, and our hearts go out to you. I know that was a really hard thing that you had to deal with. So we're thinking of you.
Yeah.
Also, Jeanette is on, and as well, and she sent in a picture of her pets. So hi, Jeanette. Everybody's saying hello. Hi, Giselle, Hope, Vivian. It's wonderful to see everybody coming in. Jeanette has a problem with the strength of her signal using her phone. So she is popping in and out. And for some reason, the last show, her phone got really hot, and that kicked her out too. So something's going on there.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're so excited to have you here. And I did say we've been advertising a bit for a big event that you're going to have, Mari, that you're part of, and sure would like to have you tell everyone about it. If they're in the area, they can join in and get some tickets.
Absolutely. That is the Messages from Heaven event. And it is for anyone in the Boston area. It's at the Newton Marriott. So we have a big ballroom, and there's going to be 4 mediums, including me. There is Catherine Glass, Deborah Livingston, and Anthony Milajewski. And I hope I didn't murder his name, but he is from North Carolina, I believe. And
I know him.
Yeah, he's so sweet, and he's coming up just for the event. So there's going to be 4 of us on stage. We're going to be sharing, bringing in spirit and messages. And I think I was telling Debbie earlier that we also have a VIP meet and greet. We have regular tickets, and then we have the VIP tickets. And if you're interested in getting a seat, because the seats are going fast, which is very exciting, just go to my website, mediummari.com, and there's a link there. It's through Eventbrite, and you can get your tickets, and we'd love to see you there. So we're very excited. April 23rd, 7 o'clock. Yeah.
That's amazing, because you have 4 mediums. I love that.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeanette, you're back.
Hey, I'm back.
Hi.
You're not in a cemetery, which you usually are.
Yeah.
No, we're trying outside in front of my car because the house is not allowing me to go live tonight.
Oh my goodness. Jeanette really, Janine really has a haunted house, and all kinds of things happen and move and everything while we're talking. So yeah, there she goes again. I was talking to her after the last show when the knocking inside of her car, and then something shot right from the side of her to the back of her car, and I saw it whiz by her, and it was actually a rosary that was shut up, I should say, in her glove box.
Wow.
And it came out and shot across the
Oh, that's so cool.
I know. We're so excited. She was so calm. She just didn't miss a beat. Just like it just whizzed right by.
That's really
that's
cool.
normal.
Yeah, that's all right. Just another day at the office, right?
It is. So much paranormal activity around her. And around my house, I make sure I ward everything to keep it kind of calm, because I got really tired of the flying stuff and the big giant knocks and the crashing things. Yeah. I don't know if you've had any in your house, Mari, any of that stuff?
Yes, absolutely. I definitely have some spirit activity. They'll turn the lights on and off, or my grandmother will come in. And I was talking to my daughter. I was actually cleaning her piano, and she turned the radio on, and my daughter's like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "Don't worry, it's just Nana." And she turned it on and off a couple of times while I was cleaning her piano. Or they'll turn the lights on in my house, or, like the microwave, or all sorts of things. So if I need to sleep, then I'll say, "Guys, look, I just need to go to sleep. Can you just chill for a little while so I can go to bed?" And they're respectful and they don't bother me. But yeah, there's definitely activity happening, but we have a little deal. Like when I'm working, it's cool. Otherwise, like I need my rest. So you just need to chill a little bit,
I totally yelled at them one night, and I didn't understand the 3 a.m. thing. I thought, oh, it's not them, midnight's the witching hour or whatever. Yeah. And then, but at 3 a.m., oh my gosh. And it's like giant bams on the door. And I yelled at, "I have to sleep, and you will not ever do this again."
Yeah, absolutely. You got to set those limits and the boundaries, because I think, they're just trying to be playful, but it's like we humans need our sleep. So
yeah, I very, very excited whenever I see something move and all of that. I mean, move like fly across the room, float across the room, or, vibrate or whatever it does. But this when they would always be dropping something, making the big bam on the second story, we just totally like blanked it out like a plane going over. We just,
Right. I'm like,
nothing.
weird.
I'm not going up to look, nothing, you know, because nothing's in that room. It's, you know, how's it do? What is it? We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the paranormal stuff. Any of our viewers, well, Griselle, hopefully it won't happen to you because I just saw what you wrote. I pee my pants and whiz my jeans. we're like going, yay!
I know. We're like, this is so cool.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, don't be afraid of it. And to me, I get excited when that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
Is it Crystal? I just had to put my beloved cat of 18 years down today. Would love a message. Oh my goodness. That's a long life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a long time. Oh, Brian's on. Andy, Brian Bowles is on.
Oh, hey, Brian.
Medium and friend. Brian has his new book out. What was the name of it, Andy?
A Letter to a Young Medium.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really good. And
Beautiful
congratulations
author.
for
Yeah.
writing that, Brian. And much luck in that. I'm writing my 5th book. Mari, do you have some books out?
I do. I have, I'm part of a collaborative book called Heaven Sent. They are true stories about how animals have touched our hearts in miraculous ways. And that came out in December, and it's been really great. I think it's 22 authors and all their stories about their animals and about how amazing things happened as they were passing or living with them. They're all different things. And so there's a story in there about my beloved cat, Mr. Fur. So,
oh, Mr. Fur, how cute is that?
Mr. Fur. It's not just, it's Mr.
Oh.
Fur. And he actually passed when he was 21. So he had not a long enough life for me, but, you know, a very long life for a cat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know. We wish they would just stay forever. But I know I was at a seance when I was like 19. And I know that there was a dog running around you know, and something grabbed my pant leg, and I said, something's got my pant leg. And somebody said, oh, it's somebody's pet. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that was really nice. It's comforting. It's got to be comforting to know that your pet is around. Mari, I want to ask you, do you feel like they, of course, transition over? Do they come back and visit right away, or a little bit about how it works for pets after they die?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think especially right after when they cross, I think their spirit is very strong because it's still sort of leaving the physical and moving to the other side. So definitely, like when my beloved Mr. Fur crossed, like I saw, you know, spirit. I saw his spirit and his spirit body, as it were, walking across my floor. And, you know, I've certainly heard similar reports from clients and just people I know. So I feel like right after they cross, they're definitely there. And then there's a little bit of a time when I feel like they're sort of getting used to the other side and sort of settling in their new place, as it were. And then, you know, they come back and visit. You know, a lot of my times, like, they'll tell me, you know, for my clients, they say, oh, I'm rubbing up against her leg. And they're like, yeah, well, I was feeling this thing and I didn't know what it was. I'm like, it's your pet. Because they kind of come back and you know what the feeling's like. It's not, people think like he's going to just jump on your lap and it's going to be, you know, like the physical, but it's more, you know, like for our viewers, it's more like a whisper or like, you know, a subtle breeze of air on you. It's something subtle, but they definitely do come back. And they like to visit with their humans and to let their humans know that they're okay, you know?
I have a question. You know how our concept of after we die, the loved ones come and take us through the tunnel or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what happens with the pets when it's their time for their spirit to go?
Well, it's interesting. And I think it's different. I don't think there's like one way, but a lot of pets have told me, and they've actually told me that they come back after they've crossed, they come back to help other pets cross over. So there are, and I wouldn't say that all pets do that, but certain animals that have like, I don't want to say leadership quality or just sort of have that in them will come back and help. It's not like the other animals need help to find the light, et cetera, but they just kind of make them more comfortable, be like, hey, this is what's happening. And so they're more like leaders to help the new pets over to the other side. And I think that's really beautiful because, they're filled with love too, the pets that have crossed to the pets that are here. And it's just a big circle. So.
Andy, I want to ask you, have you ever had a pet cross over and then come back and talk to it? Or
Yeah, I actually it's funny you mentioned this because the other day, just out of the corner of my eye. Now, I don't know if this happens to the viewers or to you, Mari or Debbie, but I know I swear I could feel my deceased cat, Mirage was her name, to the side. And when you were talking earlier, when she passed about 5 years ago, she was like 12. I remember hearing her I was in the shower getting ready for work, and I always hear like she was jumping off the bed and you could hear the hardwood floors. Like you could hear this thump, and it was always that way. It was and then it stopped after a period of time, like you were saying, probably trying to transition into that new world. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
And during seances as well, we'll often see like little shadows of people's animals, and then they'll show themselves clairvoyantly, even though they're kind of shadowy in the room, the physical room, but you can actually describe them and then feel who it goes to, whose pet it belongs to. That's kind of
you know what? So a friend gave me a picture she snapped in her kitchen, and there's a cat there, and she says, I don't have a cat. Nothing there resembled a cat. There was a china cabinet with some glassware, and there was a chair, and you can see this cat, the ears and everything just popped up right there behind the chair. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had clients who say, what is my dog barking at? And depending upon the situation, I've tuned in. I'm like, well, there's another animal there in spirit. And it doesn't necessarily mean it was your animal. It could have been the animal from the people that lived there. It's like the residual energy. And so once they figured that out, they're like, oh, okay. And then it was like the human settled down, and then therefore the living animal could settle down, because before that it was just chaos. Like, why is my dog barking in the middle of the night and freaking out? And I don't understand. So, sometimes that definitely happens for sure.
Sierra has an interesting post, Andy. Her roommate in her sleep, she will see her pet, and she will only see her for a moment, and then either she'd wake up real quick or it disappears slowly.
Yeah.
Interesting. But doesn't everybody have a pet that just kind of stares? Do they do this on purpose? You wonder. They just stare somewhere that there's nothing at. And so you're going like, is that a ghost? What's there? What are they looking at?
Yeah.
But it's amazing. They must be seeing something from the other side. What do you think, Mari?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know people say, oh, this is just my dumb dog, or, it's definitely not that. I mean, I know in my house, they're seeing spirit, and I imagine in other people's houses, I mean, unless you see a bug crawling on the wall or something, they're definitely seeing spirit. It could be animal spirit, it could be people spirit, but the animals, and I'm sure you know this, are so much more in tune than we are. So they, just like babies and children, are so much more able to pick up the spirits and see them and connect with them, more than we can. So they're like, they already know who's there before we necessarily do. So they're definitely not staring at nothing. They're definitely staring, if it's not a bug, then it's probably spirit.
That's amazing when the people have the video of their babies in the crib, like interacting with someone, laughing and cooing and talking, and nobody's there.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. And I think when children are young, they don't have anything telling you can't communicate with that. And so they just came from that world, and here we are still communicating. And sometimes when we get older and people that are not in tune like us, and our belief there's nothing else there, when in fact, of course, there are. I remember, like in my family, they really didn't talk about gifts of intuition or anything like that. But I was so blown away when my hi Meredith, she's going to
Hi,
be in
Meredith.
an upcoming show in April.
Nice.
But I remember my grandparents, and we were all sitting around the table like at Thanksgiving, a big family get together, and both my grandparents said that my great grandfather walked in down the hallway and stood in the doorway and just looked around. Both of them, and of course they're on both sides of this huge table.
Yeah.
Both of them saw him standing there looking at all of us. So he came back. He came back to see the whole family.
Oh, that's so
right after
sweet.
he passed.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Trish, hi Trish. Her son said hi, Opa, when he was in the crib. Oh, so true. I took. What was it? So true. I took the stairs, missed him. Well, it is amazing. And I wish that we could all just keep that when we're little and be that connected. And I wish we could all be connected to our pets. And it's just such a blessing, Mari, that there's people out there like you that can give those messages to people. It's so important. We talk about the closure or the grief and all of that. And I don't have any pets. I'm not going to have any more pets because it was so hard losing mine, because it's a real person.
Yeah.
And so I can understand the grief process when you lose a pet. And so to get a message would be incredible. Just like when we're giving readings to people, our clients, and we can say, hey, this is what they're saying. Sometimes it's funny.
Yeah.
And I had a cat that I was communicating with that was hysterical. And I'm laughing. And I'm like, should I say this to the person? Because it was kind of a ding to them.
Well, they do come up with amazing things, like I have, and probably you too. I've had some pets tell me like, I don't really want to live with my human anymore. Or, like sometimes they'll say that they don't really like, they just don't feel like it's a good fit or whatever. Or, they definitely say some, they tell secrets.
They're like, divorce.
They do.
I want out of this family.
Well, a lot of times you get readings and you get some kind of stuff that Yeah. But I did ask that. The owner said, I want to know where that cat went. There's no way that cat could have got out of the building and on. And the cat just told me to a better place. And I was like, I told her. I thought it was so hysterical. I did tell her.
Yeah.
I was tired of getting yelled at from climbing up the couch.
Very true. Sometimes they do leave because they're not super happy where they are. So, that is very true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have never had a cat, so I don't know how independent or anything. I read the cartoons and everything, so I know that they've got to be, somewhat have their own character. But they always say like they don't care. And you can leave them alone. You cannot leave a dog alone because, Andy, you've seen all those cartoons and those videos. They'll, ripping up everything, and then they're sitting there looking so sad or guilty. And you're just like, but the cat's like, I don't know cats. You guys have cat. You have cat, Boo. Boo.
Yeah, Boo is my dog, and
Bob. Bob.
Yeah.
So what does Bob, has Bob ever done anything wrong?
Yeah, here's my take on his personality, and now I'm being kind here. But he's sweet, and I think he's a little special. I also think he may be a daddy's boy, and he's very compassionate. He loves to cuddle. I mean, I can hold him like a baby, pet his stomach, but he's having a little issue with the potty because he's been using the carpet instead of
Mm.
the litter box. So it needs to be cleaned or it's different. It needs to be different litter or something. So I don't know, he's picky that way, but he
I was
is
just saying, maybe he's picky.
pretty
That's one
good.
thing that came.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. He's a little attitude there. Or how old is he?
They're both 5 and they were both adopted on the same day from rescue.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Well, still young. And yeah, I don't know. But hi, Kara. Hi. We got lots of the comments are coming so fast, and I'm like missing these. They're still attached, yes. You can see that Bob is okay. Bob is the cat, right?
Yep.
Okay. Will be around your shoulders and want to be right there and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I think it's funny with all the people that put the little pictures of they wake up and the cat is like right there.
Yeah. I know.
I couldn't take that. That would be a lot for me. That would be hello. I need to make coffee.
Yeah. Well, we have 3 cats, so I don't know if I'm officially a crazy cat lady. I think I need a few more to be a crazy cat lady, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. I do.
They're all different. We have one that's terrified of everything and she hides all the time. Kitten, that's her name. And so unless nobody's around, she's basically under the bed or in my daughter's room. And then we have her brother Mitten and Kitten. And he definitely is the alpha cat, even though he's not the biggest. And he likes to knock things off tables, or anywhere, the typical cat thing, but the other 2 don't. Like I had some daffodils in my room, and he came into my room, saw the daffodils, kind of looked at me like, I'm getting those later. And I'm like, don't. And then I came back, daffodils knocked over all over the place. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So he just has a little attitude. And then we have our giant, he's probably almost 20-pound cat, Squeak, who's very cute. He's a orange tabby and he's adorable. And he's the one that will lay on his back with his, rub my belly. And he's very chill. And he doesn't really do anything in terms of naughtiness. He's just cute. He's very cute. So.
Oh,
yeah.
My niece has a kitten, and she's just constantly putting, videos on. It's always like attacking ankles, and doing all kinds of stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, it really is like having a 2-year-old or something like that.
When they're little, yeah.
And we want to have everybody know that Mari's going to be doing some readings pretty soon, and people had already sent in some pictures and things like that. Also, please share the show, and anybody that's here near the end of the show, we're going to give away a Starbucks gift card. So we'll buy you a cup of coffee. And so when I tell you to say you're in, I'll be writing your names down and doing a drawing at the end. I always love giving away stuff. We've given away tacos, right? Tacos and ice cream cones and Dairy Queen and all kinds of things. It's fun. I have to go see where in the country the chain is that I can use it. But we do occasionally have people from Canada and such, and England when. Then I sent him a copy of a book. Okay, so we will be doing that. So please give us your questions because I'd love to see it. Trish says Andy's dog sits by his feet. Do you know Trish?
Yep.
Okay, then she knows. She knows these things. Yes, tacos. Yeah, I love doing that. Giving away anything like that. Anything I would eat, because if there's leftover gift cards. You know who gets them. I do. Okay. And I'm looking to see if there's any questions, you guys, for Mari. We're open for questions right now.
Okay.
Well, we were going to do a reading yet, I don't think, because it's just the top of the hour. But any general questions that she can answer?
About people or animals. It doesn't have to be animals.
Okay.
Or
about being a medium. and all of that. Andy, do you have any events coming up? I still want you to go see Custer and go live.
I do. No events just yet. I'm working with somebody that I feel like we're going to have something come up here pretty
Oh,
soon.
good.
So it's kind of in the works.
You got to be
Yeah.
doing those spirit circles and all that. And also,
Right.
let's take this time that we've put links in for you guys to actually get a reading from Mari. She has different services, I'm sure, that she offers. Mari, can you just tell a little bit about what you offer?
Absolutely. Well, I do readings on people and pets. So for people, it would be if you'd want like an intuitive reading, more questions about your life or your job, or even like a soul to soul reading, something like, what is my purpose here? That's one of the readings that I offer. And then, of course, I do regular mediumship, which is connecting to your loved ones that you'd like to hear from. And then I also offer readings with pets that are currently living. So if they are having behavioral problems, or you just want to know what's going on with them, what they're thinking, I do readings with those. And then I also do readings with animals that have passed over. And I actually have some clients that will book readings on a fairly regular basis so they can kind of visit with their animal to kind of connect with them once they've crossed over. And it's, it's really sweet because I'm able to sort of connect with the pet and then connect with the person. And it's like I'm reuniting them, and it's really beautiful. So I offer all that. And then, of course, there's the missing person and missing pet work that I do as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think the funniest thing that I ever heard was there was a lady, I don't know who she was, and she was a pet psychic, and the person was a skeptic, and she sat there and said, your dog's mad at you because you didn't give him a piece of that cheeseburger from McDonald's this morning. And he's like, what? He goes, I never go to McDonald's, but I went this morning and I ate it all. I didn't give any to the dog.
Oh my God.
So there you go. Validation.
Exactly.
Jason has a question here. What's the best way to practice active communication with our pets, or to communicate with pictures, feelings? Do you give them an impression? Do you just verbally talk to them?
Well, you can sort of do any of the above. Well, first of all, just so you know, Jason and everybody that's watching, that the animals do understand you. I mean, they might not listen to you when you're talking, but they do understand you. So let's just say that. But in terms of connecting with them, I actually am doing a course. I'll just give myself a shameless plug here. A Zoom course online, April 1st, beginning animal communication. So if you're interested in that link is also on my website. So there's, I teach animal communication. I also have a mentorship in animal communication, but just for if you're just sort of kind of starting out and you want to figure out how can I connect with my fur baby, just know that they communicate in like pictures, images, feelings. It's not like they're going to be like, hey, Mari, this is what's up today. I'd really like to play with the ball, or what. It's not like that. They're not having like a whole conversation with you. It's more like like for mediumship, they'll kind of drop in a picture of a sausage, or they'll drop in, something else. And so you have to take those little pictures and sort of put them together. And then there's feelings, which is where I always start. I guess it's my training as a therapist. I'm always starting with the emotional component. And just connecting with them, like, are they sad? Are they happy? And you can feel that, in your heart space, so if you really want to start connecting to your animals, you want to either meditate or take walks. You want to kind of get into your body, do some grounding, and work on opening your heart chakra, because that's really, in your body and your heart space is where you're receiving that information. You're not receiving it up here, because this is just your ego and your brain and, everything that everyone has ever told you. So it's really more in the body, in the heart chakra. And once you start to practice, it's like any other muscle. It gets stronger with use. So I hope
I need to practice, because all I would get is like, like worm, bird, trick or treat. I was like going, okay, but then I could see the movie of what was going on. Thank goodness, because I'm going bird, worm.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Let's see. Robin had something too. Do you see with your eyes or just have a feeling for what the pet is experiencing?
Well, for me, I'm very clairvoyant. So I see, they show me almost like little, I always tell my clients, if I'm not looking at you, it's not because I don't think you're lovely,
Right.
because I'm in my own little space. And for me, they come in on my left side and they just show me these little images. So I'm seeing like with my psychic eye, clairvoyantly. So I'm not seeing it as if like in real life, you're seeing it sort of energetically. But I'm also clairsentient, so I can feel things, or I'll have a knowing. Sometimes I'll hear things. So all the clairs are the way that you pick up sort of psychic and mediumship information. And everybody's a little bit different, and different people have stronger clairs. So for me, I would say, my strongest is seeing and knowing and feeling. So I sort of operate off of those, and smelling, certainly when I'm working with animals. For some reason, I'll get like a smell of, and it's funny. Sometimes I'll be like, your dog smells really clean. Like your dog really doesn't like to be dirty.
Yeah.
And they'll say, you are totally right. Best case scenario, usually. Because some animals are, they really are fussy about their body, and they don't want to have the doggy smell. So I think working with animals, the smelling is also a good one to use too.
Have you ever, I'm just curious, have you ever connected with a bird?
I have.
I've lost audio.
Yeah. I think
Mari, we lost your mic. And she has a brand new mic.
Oh, Mari, check your settings if you can hear me. It looks like you might have muted yourself by accident. Maybe.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Yeah.
All right. I have no idea how that happened. I didn't even touch anything, and somehow, poof, it's the gremlins again.
Yes.
My grandmother is messing with me. Yeah, you were asking about
Bird.
Bird, yes.
Or do you ever hear an animal that's not there? Or I'm just interested in communicating with the bird, because my best friend has this incredible bird, and talks everything, does everything, and communicates all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it almost doesn't even matter what animal it is, because it's like a heart-to-heart communication, right? So absolutely, I've connected with birds, and I was on another show, and I think this woman had like a sugar glider or some kind of flying squirrel or something. Or I've done lizards, I've done snakes, I've done rabbits, guinea pigs, mice, all sorts of animals. So yeah, because it's not really so much about, like the shell they're in, just like this isn't like us. It's the heart, it's the soul, and it's the soul to soul, the heart to heart communication. So yeah, so it's fun. I mean, I like connecting with different animals because they just tell you like the craziest things,
Vivian said, "It's my Max. He wants to talk to me." Laugh out loud. Bird is the word, is what Jason says.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised. I never thought about communicating with a snake. What would a snake give you an impression of? They're hungry, or they're happy, or?
Well, I mean, again, I always start with the emotional component. So it's more like, are they feeling happy? Are they sad? I mean, they have all the same feelings we do. It's just, we don't look at them that way. We don't look at them as people, or they're just, oh, it's the dumb dog or whatever. But, all the animals have the range of emotions. It's just a lot more subtle. So, I mean, I don't remember exactly what the snake said, but I mean, I know I always start with the emotional component. And I think it was lonely because I think, one of its cage mates had passed away and he was by himself. And so they get into a whole thing. They share a whole story with me, their feelings about it. And then, they drop in all the evidential pieces about, things they like to eat, or what's happened to them, or if they have physical issues, so it's just like a reading of a person. It's just,
except for you're doing this reading when the snake says, "I want the mouse."
It's like, here's my Thanksgiving feast that I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I know. So, but they all like, to me, they're like people, they all have their own personalities. They all have their own things they have to say. And So it's fun. And one of the reasons I really like working with animals a lot is that they're really honest. They're not trying to pull any wool over anyone's eyes. They're not trying to, sugarcoat anything. They're just as they are, and they'll say it like it is. So that's really refreshing, I think.
What amazing gift that you have. Just amazing. Let's see. Do older pets ever let you know what time for their heavenly travel? That it's time for their travel?
Yeah, they definitely, some of them do. I mean, I would say a lot of my clients and a lot of the animals I've communicated with, a lot of times they want to hang in there for their person because they know how hard it's going to be for their person when they go. Especially dogs, I've noticed. It seems like they might be in, the worst possible shape, but they're just kind of hanging in there till the very end because they don't want their person to be sad. And so a lot of times when people come to me and they're asking me about this, I'm honest and I'm saying, look, this is what he's saying. I mean, physically, absolutely, he's ready to go, but he's trying to take care of you up until the very end, and that's how noble and loving they are. So yeah, they absolutely let me know. And then it's sort of between them and their human about what they decide.
Isn't
Right.
that amazing?
Yeah.
I just think of animals as just complete unconditional love.
Yeah.
And that's one example you just shared, is to stick around in pain.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because they want to take care of us. That's why they're here, in a lot of ways. That's why they're here.
Oh yeah. There's such a comfort and love for people. I think we'll go ahead and take this last question, and then we're going to only have 8-9 minutes to do the pet readings, and we're going to give away a Starbucks card, so hang in there. Jason says, do you come across the same energy coming back as different pets for the same person?
I'm not totally sure what exactly you're asking there, Jason, but it feels like you're talking about like more reincarnation and when they come back. And certainly I believe in reincarnation, and pets do reincarnate, but a lot of times people will, they will have lost their dog like 2 months ago and they'll be like, oh, is my dog back? And, in my experience, it takes them a little longer to come back than like immediately. Although a lot of times when people get a new dog and they say, oh, the puppy is acting just like my dog that crossed. And I'm saying, yeah, that's because your dog that is crossed is with them. And it's like, they'll come down and they'll kind of tutor them a little bit. And it's almost like they take them under their wing or their little furry paw and kind of walk them through how things used to be. And that's why they say, I can't believe it. My new puppy is doing the same thing as my old dog. So a lot of times it's that. If a lot of time has passed from your pet passing and, getting a new pet, yes, it's definitely possible to reincarnation. But it's not like an immediate thing, at least in my experience. It's not an immediate thing.
I have a question because there are so many stories of pets actually healing people.
Yeah.
I see it all the time where they say the pet was on my chest or whatever, or this good energy. So I have a friend that's passed away, and she was into exotic animals. Her best friend was in Roy of Siegfried and Roy. And Roy brought over 2 baby lions.
Wow.
And she had cancer and she was dying. And he put them on her chest. And it was the most wonderful feeling. She just cried and cried and cried when she told me the experience of that energy of those baby lions. She always said baby lions were the best babies. And so what do you feel like that they actually do physical healing, or it's just that wonderful love energy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of both, actually, because I feel like, people might give me a little flack for this, but I feel like in some ways animals are on a higher level than we are because they don't have the pettiness, they don't have the jealousies, they don't have all that human stuff that we have. And so in some ways they're on a higher level. And so I feel like they connect to that, that God source or energy or spirit or whatever you want to call it a little easier than we do. And so I feel like if they're connecting with us, and I've had the same thing when I've been sick, my cat will be near me, and it's almost like they're channeling that love. They're channeling that energy, spirit, God source, whatever you want to call it, to try to help with the healing. And, and as we all know, the animals all want to do what they can for us. So if there's any way they do like their little pet Reiki, I call it, to help heal us, then, they absolutely do. I think you have to be willing and open for that. Because I think a lot of times animals try to help with the healing, but if you're not really open to it, then it's harder for it to get in. But if it sounds like your friend was open and ready to receive and was able to take that love in through the animal. And that's just, that sounds amazing. When you were talking about it, I was getting, goosebumps. So amazing story.
It was. She had an amazing life. And I do hear a lot of people say that my pet knows when I'm not feeling good or when I'm sad. And
Absolutely.
that is really neat because I guess they'll come to you and comfort you. Andy, do you ever have that with your
Mine
pets?
does. Yeah, I'll even have Boo on my chest, and then she'll push Bob aside when he is sitting on me, and they always sit around the chakra areas that I think need healing, which was the heart chakra, probably more so for me, or the throat chakra, because you're not expressing your feelings so much. But also, they know. I swear they know when I'm ready to have a seizure. So
yeah.
and they're not trained to know that. They're not like, a medical dog or cat. They just instinctively, psychically, energetically know. So.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, I have a short amount of time right now. So Mari, I sent you a few pictures and names of dogs and their mommy's names. Is there a couple of readings that you could give a couple of people?
Absolutely. I'm just looking down at my phone because I have the pictures here. So I have Jade. Jade is the fur baby that passed recently, and the mommy is Sabine. So I have Jade here, a photo of Jade. And it's interesting as I'm connecting to her. I do feel it's interesting as I connect to her because I'm getting like a real regal quality to her. And I'm not really sure why, because it's not, you look at a picture and you see one thing, but I'm not looking with my eyes. I'm looking with my, my spirit eyes, I guess. So I'm getting like a real regal quality to Jade as I'm connecting to her. And it feels very much like, I don't know why she's showing me like a little crown, like a princess. So I don't know if that was like a little nickname for her as well. But I do also feel like that she was helping her mom with some healing also. And I feel like it's like, I don't know what she's talking to me about, if Sabine had like more of like a chronic health condition or something, but I do feel like Jade was instrumental in trying to help heal her. And I'm not sure if you know about that as well.
Yeah.
But
and she was her princess.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the last things right when she told me, she texted me, she said, my princess is gone.
Oh yeah.
And and there was, Sabine does have chronic health issues.
Yeah, because I'm just feeling like that we're just talking about healing and it's no accident, right? Because she's just really talking to me about really being a real healer for Sabine. And that was part of the reason that she was here, was to help be her healer and to really, and it's interesting because she's showing me like a pen and notes, and obviously, Jade wasn't writing notes, but I don't know if Sabine is talking about writing like a book. There's some piece about writing about her because they're showing me a pen and notes and writing. So
she's writing a book right now.
All right. Well, I guess
she's watching. She's here watching you.
So she is talking to me about that, and I feel like Jade is really, she's there. She said she's going to be proofreading it. She's going to be with you proofreading it to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, she said. Because I feel like it's interesting that she's very loving. I'm getting a lot of love from this animal, but I'm feeling like a little controlling as well with her, like in a good way, like in a protective kind of a way. So that's what she's talking to me about, sort of, overseeing the book and the manuscript. She's giving me the word manuscript. So that to make sure there's no errors in it. So she just wants you to know that she's going to be with you while you're doing that, and that she's and she's really was grateful to be your baby.
I have to give you a little bit more validation. Just lately, due to other circumstances, it may seem like that Sabine's lost her proofreader. And so that was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, right on everything, on everything. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad.
Oh my
Thank you
gosh.
for sharing with me. She's a good talker, you know.
Uh-huh.
All the animals aren't necessarily really amazing communicators, but Jade is like boom right there, dropped right in, very
Real
very good
happy,
communicator. Yeah.
happy living with Bella, her little like sisterhood going, and just she was very big dog, and she'd like to jump up on me, and I'd be going
Yeah.
but she's so sweet, really good ones. Sabine says thank you. I have a picture with her wearing a crown.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I would love to see that. I know that she came through with this crown, and I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah.
She says her aura is eggplant color.
Well, that's the royalty, and that's the regal I was getting. And it's interesting because, I'm looking in my eyes and it doesn't, I'm looking, doesn't seem regal, but I'm feeling that royalty, regal, elegance. And so, yeah, absolutely. I can see it.
You nailed it. And Sabine was really hoping for a message. She's, gone through so much in the last 2 days. So thank you so much, Mari.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah. And I have here, and I don't know if you have an order of, you want me to do them, but I have
anything that you want to do. It's a blessing.
Okay. I have Sam. That's a little dog. That is the mommy is Julianne. And I don't know if she is watching, but it's a little black dog. Sam is very cute. So as I connect to Sam, and I guess, Julianne, if you're not watching now, maybe you can watch the replay so that you can get the reading. But as I connect to Sam, it's interesting. I'm feeling like he's talking to me about like being a Muppet, like the Muppets from Sesame Street, because there's some piece about him being kind of a little goofy, and I don't know why, but he's bringing in the Muppets to me from Sesame Street. And obviously we can't validate it if she's not here, but there's some piece about the Sesame Street. So I feel like that somehow connects with the mom. And I know that this animal is still living as well. And I feel like that there's some piece about rescue. And not only did you rescue Sam, but Sam is rescuing you, because they're showing me like the yin yang. So there's some piece about that, even though you rescued me from the cage, I'm rescuing you. I don't know specifically what's going on with your life. Feels like there's some relational issues. And I almost feel like Sam is kind of stepping in and taking the spot of another person. And a lot of times the animals will do that if there's like discord in relationships. If you're having trouble with a friend or significant other, it's like they kind of step in and take over that spot. And that's what I'm feeling with Sam. And he's a little bit of a thing, a little tiny dog, but I feel like he has a really big personality and a really big presence. And he's very protective as well. He's just showing me kind of circling around his mom, like, this is my mom. I'm taking care of my mom. Even though he's little, it's like he's got the big Great Dane personality, even though he's like this little, fluffer. So, so very sweet. So I'm glad that, you were able to share that with me, Julianne, and hopefully you'll be able to see this. So
yes, no, she will. She is a regular viewer, and we're going to go make sure that we get her to see that and give us some validation or her take on it. So that was really great.
Awesome. Thank you. And I have a couple more here. I have Lulu, who is also still here. Now, I don't know if you can see the picture of Lulu. Oh, sorry, camera.
Yeah.
She has like a little hat on. She's adorable. And I believe, the mom is Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm loving the hat on Lulu, but it's interesting as I connect to her, I'm feeling like she has some anxiety. There's like residual anxiety that I'm feeling with her. And I feel like it has been worse and it has gotten better, but I don't know why. I'm getting like this feeling in here. So I don't know if she has like a heart issue or some type of breathing issue, but she's drawing me to this part of my body. And I'm also getting like a little bit of anxiety connected to her as well, which I'm sure if you're the mom, you probably are already aware of, but I do feel like it is getting better. And it was worse originally when when you got her. And so she is sort of on the mend, as it were. And it's so funny as I'm connecting to her, she's talking to me, and they do this all the time. She's talking to me about pizza. So obviously she either likes pizza or you are not giving her any of the pizza. And she is a little bit perturbed about that. So there's some piece about pizza that Lulu is talking about. And I would love to hear about whatever it is. I don't know why she's kind of dropping that in my mind. And it's also interesting as I'm connecting to her, she's giving me the word chalk and drawing with a piece of chalk. So I don't know if the mom is like a teacher or works with chalk or is an artist or something, but I have no idea why. That's what they do, is they'll drop in little images, pictures, vignettes. And she just gave me chalk and like drawing on a chalkboard. So there's some connection with that and the mom as well that she's giving me. She's also showing me that when the mom goes to work, that she's almost sitting by the door waiting for her to come back. She's like, when are you coming? So, and I would tell the mom, if we were having a session, that it's important to, and everybody out there, when you go to work, you go away, just tell your pets when you're going to be back. And I know you might think to yourself, oh, I'm a lunatic for doing this, but you're not. Because when I leave, I say goodbye to all the cats and I say, okay, guys, I'm going now and I'll be back at 4:00 or whatever it is. And, and they don't really look at time the way we do. But, it sort of gives them a framework as opposed to just bye. And then you could be back in 2 weeks or an hour. So please, everybody, tell your pets when you're coming back. And I feel like for Lulu that she would really like to know, say, okay, mom's going to be back at 5:00. And then when you come in, give her a treat. Because I feel like there's that separation anxiety as well that she could, get a little better on. So
that's really good to know. Michelle's my friend.
Okay.
And Lulu is like the mascot for the Girl Scouts. And mom is very much into the Girl Scouts. And her Facebook cover page picture is Lulu all in green with the Girl Scout cookies all over the place.
Cool.
She's like helping to sell Girl Scout cookies. She's a character. She's dressed up all the time. She's so adorable. It's just one of those dogs you just want to eat up. So cute.
Yeah, she is adorable, and I don't feel like she really minds the hats. Like she's telling me,
oh my God, yes,
I like it. Some of them will tell me this is really annoying and get this off her head. But I'm feeling like she's cool with it.
She's got her witch's hat. She has all the hats.
But I don't know what the chalk is. Why is they're showing me chalk?
I will ask and I'll let you know. She could be making signs and stuff, maybe they use it with the Girl Scouts. So I will find out about that.
Let me know.
She was in and she might be doing something tonight, but she was in earlier on the site. So I will tell her. I can't wait.
Cool.
Really neat.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, no, it was very cool to connect with her. And I also have a kitty here, Princess. And I believe Jeanette was on, or hopefully she's still on. Mm-hmm. So I have your Princess here. Wow. It's interesting because I'm connecting to her. She almost has like that stay away vibe. So there's definitely I feel like she's a little bit harder to approach in terms of, some animals are just all over you all the time. But I feel like, and she's talking to me also about that it took you a little while to really connect with me. And now that you're my person, you're my person. So it's sort of like there are people that are on the ins with her and there are people that are on the outs with her. So I can almost feel like Jeanette is she's the center of her universe and everybody else is on the outside. Because I'm just feeling with this pet, with Princess, that she's very there's territorialness to her and protectiveness. She's very protective of Jeanette. And I don't feel like that she likes when strangers come around. I feel like she's I like to be with my mom. And I don't want to have people coming around that I don't know, because I feel I don't know if there's a separation anxiety piece with her or there's abandonment they're talking to me about. So I don't know if she was a rescue from a shelter or she got taken away from mom too early. But there is some I'd say family of origin issues, using my therapy lingo, with her. And so it's sort of harder for her to bond. And I do believe, like I said, it took a little while for Jeanette to bond with her. but once they're bonded, it's like, you're my person and I love you. And, you know, like, and she's very protective of her as well. Although I don't feel like she's a super snuggly kitty. Like she's not, you know, like your Bob or, you know, like my Squeak all over us all the time. It's like, I'll get my love when I, you know, when I want the love. And then the rest of the time you just kind of stay over there. But it's almost like she is on a little perch, like watching her person. Like, I'm going to look over, I'm going to make sure everything's cool. And I'm kind of going to stay over here, but I'm going to make sure everything's all right. So she's definitely, I'm getting a really big protective vibe with her. And she, you know, she loves being with her mom.
So Antoinette has been validating everything you're saying, and we've been putting it up as you've been talking. She said they rescued her from outside, 4 weeks old. She's 7 years old now.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was feeling like that oral thing that she didn't get enough time with her mom. So it's like sometimes they'll suck on other things or they'll chew things or like to a greater extent, because if they didn't have the time with their mom nursing, then they kind of have that little oral thing going on. I'm kind of feeling that with Princess as well. So thank you for the validations. I know I kind of go into my little zone and I wasn't reading the comments. So
It's
thank you for bringing that
up.
up.
She was just saying spot on and all of that.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
We're getting a little over the time right now. Mari, are you all finished?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I did everybody. I think there might be one more, but it's totally up to you. Whatever.
Oh, sure. I mean, if you have the time, I know it's late where you live.
Well, I was telling Andy before that luckily I'm a night person. So.
Yeah.
Well, let me just interject this. The people that are watching, I'm going to give away a Starbucks card. I want you to just say you're here, say yes, and post it, and I'll put you in for a drawing for a Starbucks card while Mari does this, okay?
Okay, that sounds great. So my last one, and if I missed anybody, I apologize, but I'm kind of scrolling, and I think this is the one I didn't get to. Lizzie. Lizzie's mom is Lisa. Lizzie looks like a black lab or some type of black dog. It's interesting when I connect to Lizzie, I'm feeling like, it's interesting. I'm feeling like a stalwart, like really kind of connected ground, like a really grounded animal. Like I'm feeling like really dropping into my body, like solid citizen, you know, like protective, good, like your basic, you know, protective, next to you, taking care of you type of dog. But it's interesting as I get, you know, I sort of probe a little bit more with her and I'm talking to see what's going on with her. I feel like almost that she had a difficult past. Like I'm feeling, it almost feels like, you know, there's a lot of pain and stuff in her past, and I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but I feel like she's talking to me that she came through a lot of different things. Like she didn't always have the easiest life. So I'm not sure if she was a rescue from the South, because she's talking to me about the South. But I feel like she kind of came through a lot of things, and with the help of her mom, that she's, you know, that she's really like sort of transformed a little bit. She's telling me, because she wasn't always quite that way. She wasn't always that trusting. And she wasn't always together, like, because I'm really getting, she's very put together. And again, I feel it in my body, like she's just solid as a rock, you know. I'm just getting that vibe from her and that feeling from her very much. But it wasn't always that way, she tells me. And she's talking to me about her mom, Lisa, and how she's really grateful that she sort of helped her through a bunch of her issues. Feeling like chewing was one of them, because she's giving me the mouthy feeling. And I'm not even sure if she was potty trained when she originally got her, even though she was a little bit older. So I feel like her mom, Lisa, really was working with her on a lot of stuff. And she says to me, she's helped me to become the dog that I have become.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Mari, we're just like blown away. You're so right on. You guys, if you want a reading with Mari, we have all the links and everything on how to get a hold of her. And she was just absolutely nailed everything with these readings. It's just amazing. We are so blessed, and I'm just so excited that you came back and were on the show with us. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's so fun. It's like meeting up with old friends. So anytime, it's so great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and do a drawing. I've been writing feverishly. Everybody that said yes, and they're still here. So here we go. And I've got a piece of paper, and it says Robin. So that's my handwriting. Robin Smith Stanley. Robin, if you could private message Psychic Fix's fan page, and I need your email address, and then I'll send you a gift card, electronic gift card for Starbucks. Awesome. Congratulations. I love giving away stuff. It's so fun.
Me too. It's so much fun.
Okay, well, it's time to say goodbye. And we have talked about Mari's great events and stuff that's going on, and her books and all of that. So all of that information will be on the fan page. So please like her page and go see what she's doing. Follow her. If you're out in Boston, go to that fantastic opportunity to go to an event with 4 mediums. That's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be, yeah, for sure.
And then our trusty, wonderful Andy, thank you so much for being here, and your great mediumship and your wonderful technical, abilities.
For sure, definitely.
You're welcome.
Okay, you guys, we're going to say good night now. And Mari, you can stay on for just a minute after we are finished. Trish, thank you for helping. She's helped in the post. So thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
Thank you so
good
much.
night.
Thank you for having me. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.